Hey, what's going on? Coastal Living with Phil T. You're watching this video today probably because you're a little bit interested or maybe a whole lot interested in moving to Murrells Inlet. I've helped a lot of buyers relocate to the Grand Strand. Murrells Inlet is one of those areas people ask about the most. So today I'm going to show you why so many people are moving here and a few things you should know before you buy. Thanks for checking out Coastal Living with Phil T. So let's just dive right into it. Where is Murrells Inlet? Let's pull up the map. So as you can see right here, Murrells Inlet, just south of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And if we go down a little bit, just north of Georgetown off of Highway 17. Now, as you can see, you're also seeing part of Garden City, which is part of Murrells Inlet. So Garden City is going to be the beach side of Murrells Inlet. Just keep that in mind because a lot of people get confused. They see Garden City Beach, they think it's a different city. Nope, it's actually just the coastal side of Murrells Inlet. Murrells Inlet is also, as well as Garden City, just south of our town, Surfside Beach. So I spent a lot of time there and just north of Pawleys Island. If you're looking to move to Murrells Inlet, you can expect about a 20-minute drive to our airport. As you can see, it's right here. Downtown Myrtle Beach, probably about 25, 30 minutes. If you want to go to North Myrtle Beach, luckily you got Highway 31 right here, and you can be up there in about 45 minutes. Heading south, if you're going to Charleston, you're about an hour and 15, an hour and 30 minutes away. People move to Murrells Inlet because it's very conveniently located, especially if you're working here in the area and not fully retired, or you're maybe part of a family and you have to travel throughout the Myrtle Beach area. It's very easy to get on 707 to 31 and get a lot of places and also be able to travel around town. So Murrells Inlet, when it comes down to it, is very conveniently located. So let's talk about the history of Murrells Inlet. It's not just another beach town. In fact, it was actually built way before tourism even came to the Grand Strand. It's been a working fishing village and a trading port for a long time. And that's one of the things I love about Murrells Inlet. It literally grew around the water. Native Americans lived in the area for thousands of years because of the abundant fish, shellfish, and of course the waterways. The English settlers that arrived in the early 1700s, one of which is John Morrell, who they think Murrells Inlet was actually originally named after. His name was spelled a little bit different. Eventually, they changed it to Murrell, as you will see it today. During the 1800s, rice plantations were the biggest producer in the area. Different plantations, such as Wachesaw, actually date back to those historic dates, but nowadays they are golf courses. So even before Highway 17 existed in the Murrells Inlet area, the rivers and creeks were the highways of the coastal South Carolina. Just like many people like to use them now for fun instead of actually using them to move produce or rice or anything like that. Now, see, to me, this is where it gets fun. Like many coastal towns, Murrells Inlet has its share of pirate legends. Local stories say the winding creeks and marshes provide the perfect hiding spot for infamous pirates, even Blackbeard. While historians debate whether Blackbeard actually ever spent time in Murrells Inlet, those stories have become a fun part of Murrells Inlet identity. And to be honest with you, you can still see a pirate ship or two out on the inlet every once in a while. So keep your eyes open. After the Civil War, the area's economy shifted from rice farming to commercial fishing. That's how we became the seafood capital of South Carolina. Generations of local families made their living harvesting everything from shrimp, oysters, crab, and fresh fish. A lot of times these days, if you go to a restaurant in the Murrells Inlet area, you will definitely find a lot of local catches on your menu, which it's kind of cool to think that that fish was just caught right outside the breakers. It's one of the reasons that makes Murrells Inlet so special. So why today is Murrells Inlet so special? Well, one of the reasons is the MarshWalk. I know you got to be thinking, well, one little area can't make it so special. But I'll tell you what, if you've ever been to the Murrells Inlet MarshWalk, you know why. I love it. Live music daily, great restaurants, a great coffee from Brown Fox Coffee, which is a little coffee truck right there on the marsh. And it's fun for the whole family. I've seen kids down there having a great time, teenagers, college kids, and more. And while you're down there, make sure you check out the Pied Eye Pirate Boat. It's definitely a fun afternoon or evening activity. When it comes down to Murrells Inlet, boating is still a huge thing. You'll find two different boat ramps when it comes down to the Murrells Inlet area. We'll take a look at them here on the map. I think sometimes it's easier to see them on the satellite, but so the one is going to be over here on the inlet. The main, I would say, boat ramp that goes out into the ocean from Murrells Inlet, and that, of course, is right here next to the Bell and Church. This boat ramp can get very busy, especially on holidays, as it's only three lanes wide, and the parking is a little hike. But there's usually a gentleman down there on a golf cart that gives you a ride back and forth. The boat ramp is free to use, so you don't have to worry about that. But just know during low tide, that area, this area right here in the creek, it does get very shallow. So just be very careful. The other boat ramp in the Murrells Inlet area is the Wachesaw Marina. That, of course, right here off Wachesaw Road. Once again, parking, it's a little hike. As you can see, the parking area is back here and the boat ramp is down here. So just prepare and be ready to walk some after you put the boat in. It has 2 lanes, not that they're really designated. I guess sometimes you can find 3. But overall, that boat ramp usually is not too crazy busy. The nice thing is, once you put in, you can hit the Walkawachi Marina for fuel, bait, whatever you need, and be on your way. When it comes down to fishing, we've talked about boating. Now we got to talk about fishing, right? Isn't that why you're putting the boat in? Well, there's great fishing on both sides of Murrells Inlet, on the Waccamaw River, on the intercoastal, as well as in the marsh and out of the breakers into the ocean. So if you're looking to find out more about fishing, I always recommend to go see one of the guides down in the Murrells Inlet area, and go ahead and book at least a half day to get you started on what you should be fishing for and what kind of bait you should be using, and much more. You can also hit the beaches in Garden City and do a little coastal fishing right there from the beach, or maybe even hit the Garden City Pier and fish off the end of pier. Fishing is still a huge part of the lifestyle here in Murrells Inlet. Another part of our lifestyle and another part of why a lot of folks move here is the golf. We have great golf courses. Everything from Wachesaw East and also the private Wachesaw Plantation to Blackmoor, International, TPC, and Indigo Creek, and so many more. The nice thing also is, because you're so close to all the beach or all the golf courses in Myrtle Beach, is you can hop on 707 or 17 and get to a bunch of them up in Myrtle Beach, or head south and hit some of the nice courses down in Pawleys Island. The golf is plentiful in the Grand Strand, so you can find a place to play just about every single day. After that 18 holes, you probably want to maybe eat something. Well, the nice thing about the restaurants in Murrells Inlet is they are plentiful. Over in the Garden City area, you can find great restaurants such as the Marlin Quay, or even the Gulfstream right next door, and Sarah J's. On the MarshWalk, you have all kinds of great restaurants such as Dead Dog Saloon, Wicked Tuna, or even the Claw House. One of my favorites is Bovines, just because their pizza is delicious. Heading south from the MarshWalk in the Murrells Inlet area, don't forget Hot Fish Club, or even their sister, Prohibitions, as well as Russell's across the street, Graham's just down the street, or Southern Hops Brewing. Over off 707 in Murrells Inlet, you're going to find great restaurants like Driftwoods, Quigley's, Danny's Pizza, Aroma's Pizza, or even Eggs Up Grill. Right there off 17 in the main area. And don't forget about our friends at Two Taco, Bohemian Bull, El Cerro, and of course, everyone's favorite, there's always a line to get in, Texas Roadhouse. When it comes down to eating the Murrells Inlet, you'll definitely find plenty of options. As we talked about the history of Murrells Inlet, I think it's really cool because it's always been a community town, and community activities still happen a lot in Murrells Inlet. In fact, there's a group that's very active in keeping great community activities alive. The 4th of July parade and fireworks is huge and historic in the town, as well as chili cook-offs in the fall and spring, as Bike Week hits twice a year as well, and much more. You'll really have fun in Murrells Inlet if that's where you decide to move. So you're probably saying, well, Phil T, all right, I'm loving what I'm hearing. Restaurants, golf, boating. Where am I going to live? Well, let's talk about a few different neighborhoods in the Murrells Inlet area. Up first is Prince Creek. It is a huge master plan made up of many neighborhoods and a lot of different price ranges. In fact, some houses you can start in the mid 200s, but they also go up to over 4 mil. Pools, tennis courts, security, and much more, all part of Prince Creek. It's definitely a mix of different neighborhoods with homes, with ranch homes with vinyl siding, to low country homes in the nicer neighborhoods, which have over a few thousand square foot. Some neighborhoods are built for price conscientious retirees, while others are built for growing families. So if you're looking in Prince Creek, there's probably something that you'll find to interest you and fit your needs. The next neighborhood we're going to talk about is just next to Prince Creek, and that is Blackmoor, built around Blackmoor Golf Club. The homes were built in the early 2000s. The neighborhood features a pool as well as tennis court, and of course, the Blackmoor Golf Course. A lot of ranch homes. It's a great area for golfers as well as retirees. Speaking of golfers, golfers would love to live in Wachesaw. Of course, it's made of a few different neighborhoods, and Wachesaw Plantation is its own gated community. Homes in Wachesaw do start in the low 400s, while homes in Wachesaw Plantation are closer to $1 million. Unless you look at some of the condos in there, of course, they could be more affordable. Low country homes as well as traditional ranch homes are throughout the neighborhood. It's a great area for golfers and just folks that want to be closer to the intercoastal as well as families. Make sure you check out Wachesaw. So I know what you're thinking. Okay, we've talked about the neighborhoods. Now, what's it going to cost me to live there? Well, home prices in the Murrells Inlet area can be pretty fair, at least in today's market. So if you're looking for a condo in between 17 and the other 17, so in between 17 business and 17 bypass, you can find different condos in there for the 200s. While condos near the water in Murrells Inlet, as well as the Garden City area, can reach in the 700,000s, especially beautiful condos like Marlin Quay. If you're looking for a home, you're looking to start in about the 200,000s, but of course they can escalate pretty quickly depending what features, what neighborhood, and of course into the millions if you're along the waterfront. When it comes down to mobile homes on leased land, they offer affordable living, but just understand you don't own the land, so you want to keep that in mind. Anyways, you can find a mobile home in the Murrells Inlet area many times throughout the year in around the $100,000 range, or sometimes even less if you find that great deal. So you're probably going, okay, the Murrells Inlet area, I'm intrigued. What are the pros and cons? Well, it's pretty easy. Murrells Inlet has great restaurants. Of course, an unbelievable water lifestyle right there on the water, fishing, boating. Also, the community. They all get together throughout the year and have a lot of fun together. The golf, of course, the healthcare, which we talk about in a different video, and the accessibility to the beaches. The cons? Well, unfortunately, just like a lot of other areas in the Grand Strand, we deal with summer traffic as well as flood insurance because it is a coastal area can be very expensive depending on the house in what neighborhood and how close to the coast you are. And of course, some HOAs can be expensive as well. As you can see, the pros definitely outweigh the cons in Murrells Inlet. So if you ask me today who Murrells Inlet is actually perfect for, I can tell you folks that are looking to retire and live a slower lifestyle outside of the hustle bustle of some of our tourist areas in the Grand Strand, or families looking for the same. Golfers are going to love the Murrells Inlet area, and boaters will as well. Now, one thing I definitely want to let you know is if you're looking to do any fishing out in the ocean, you're going to want to be on the side of Murrells Inlet towards the MarshWalk. In fact, from the intercoastal, it's quite a ride. You have to go all the way down through Georgetown and back out and around to get out on the intercoastal. What I would probably recommend doing if you didn't feel like taking that long of a ride is use one of the boat ramps down in Georgetown. In fact, that's what I do when I go fishing. It's just a whole lot easier. Otherwise, put in out there on the creek and you can be outside of the shoals within just a few minutes ride. So keep that in mind if you're looking to boat here in Murrells Inlet. Remote workers also will find joy in Murrells Inlet. After all, housing prices are affordable. You have a lot of today's luxuries, as well as great shopping that's close by, and of course, utilities, high speed internet, and so much more. So remote workers would definitely find a great life in Murrells Inlet. So Murrells Inlet sounds like it might be the right fit for you and your lifestyle. Give me a call. I'd love to help you explore the area. And if there's another community you'd like me to cover next, make sure you let me know in the comments below. Appreciate you watching Coastal Living with Phil T. I'll see you around the coast here soon.